Hi, Sanders superstars. This is Miss Lane. I hope you are all enjoying your holiday break and just ready for Santa to come. You have a couple more days to be really, really, really good for your parents and your family and just be ready so that Santa can come and put some great gifts under your tree for you. I hope you're enjoying your holiday. So I wanted to share this wonderful book that I found at Barnes& and Noble this weekend, and it's called Santa is Coming to Georgia, because he is. The book is written by Steve Smallman and illustrated by Robert Dunn and Stefano Tambellini. Santa is coming to Georgia. Well, boomed Santa, have all the children from Georgia been good this year? Well, mostly, answered the little old elf as he bustled across the busy workshop to Santa's desk. Santa peered down at the elf from behind the tall, teetering piles of letters that the children of Georgia had sent him. Mostly? Asked Santa, looking over the top of his glasses. Yes, but they have all been especially good in the last few days, said the elf. Jolly good, chuckled Santa. Then we'd better get their presents loaded up. Even though the sack of presents was really, really big, the elves were really, really small. They seemed to have no trouble loading it onto Santa's sleigh. Though how they managed to fit such a big sack onto one little sleigh, even they didn't know. But somehow they did. Splendid, boomed Santa. We're ready to go. Not quite, Santa, said the little old elf. One of our reindeer is missing. Missing? Which reindeer is missing? Asked Santa. The youngest one, Santa, said the elf. It's his first flight tonight. I've called him and called him, but just then a young reindeer strolled up munching a large carrot. Where have you been? Asked Santa. But the youngest reindeer was crunching so loudly that it was no wonder he hadn't heard the little old elf calling. Oh, well, never mind, said Santa, giving the reindeer a little wink. He took out his Santa nav and tapped the coordinates for Georgia. This will guide us to Georgia in no time. Crunch, crunch, crunch. With a flick of the reins and a jerk of the harness, off they went, racing through the sky. Ho, 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 laughed Santa. We'll soon have these presents delivered to the Peach State. Santa's sleigh flew through the starry night, heading south across the Arctic Ocean. On they flew in the crisp, wintry air, crossing over Canada. In the wink of an eye, the sleigh was flying above the Great Lakes and on over the Appalachian Mountains. The youngest reindeer was very excited. He had never been away from the North Pole before. This is exciting. They were just nearing the Blue Ridge Mountain when suddenly they ran into a thick fog. Mist swirled around the sleigh. They couldn't see a thing. The youngest reindeer was getting a bit worried, but Santa didn't seem concerned. In 2 miles, said the Santa nav in a bossy lady's voice. Just keep left at the next star. But ma'am, Santa blustered, I can't see anything. Any stars in all this fog. Soon they were hopelessly lost. Oh, I hope that never happens. Ding dong, ding dong. Then through the foggy blanket, the youngest reindeer heard a faint ringing sound. Ding dong. He looked over at the old reindeer with the red nose, but he had his head down. Oh, I wonder who the one with the red nose is. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. There was that sound again, like church bells ringing. The youngest reindeer turned around to look at Santa, but Santa wasn't listening. he seemed to be arguing with a little box with buttons on it. With a flick of the harness and a jerk of the reins, the youngest reindeer gave a sharp tug and headed off toward the sound of the bells, pulling Santa and his sleigh behind him. "Whoa!" cried Santa, pulling his hat straight. "What's going on?" Then, to his surprise, he heard the ringing sound. "Well done, young reindeer," he shouted cheerfully. "That must be the cathedral at St. Philip's in Atlanta. Don't worry, children. Santa is coming." Then suddenly, crunch! The sleigh hit something as it plummeted through the fog. "You have arrived," said the Santa Nav unhelpfully. Finally, the fog had lifted. Santa discovered exactly where they were. Stuck right at the very top of the Georgia State Capitol. "Everybody, pull!" The reindeer pulled with all their might until at last, with a screeching noise, the sleigh scraped clear off the dome and Santa steered them safely past the World of Coca-Cola, along Marietta Street, and down into Centennial Olympic Park. Hey, I know where all those places are. Luckily, there was no real damage done, but the packages had all been jumbled up. Santa quickly sorted out the presents in order again. "All right," said Santa. "Thanks to this young reindeer, I know where we are now. Don't worry, children. Santa is coming." Santa drove his sleigh expertly from rooftop to rooftop all over Georgia, popping in and out of chimneys as fast as he could, which was pretty fast for a chunky fellow. There were big chimneys in Thomasville and small chimneys in Athens. He squeezed down thin chimneys in Gainesville and plummeted down fat chimneys in Statesboro. The youngest reindeer was amazed at how quickly they went. Santa never seemed to get tired at all, and it looked like the children in Georgia were going to be very lucky this year. But the youngest reindeer was starting to feel a little weary and quite hungry too. In house after house, Santa delved inside his sack for packages of every shape and size. He piled them under the Christmas tree and carefully filled up the stockings with surprises. In house after house, the good children of Georgia had left a large plate of cookies and a small glass of milk and a big crunchy carrot. Who do you think those carrots are for? Santa took a little bite out of each cookie, a tiny sip of milk, and wiped his beard and popped the carrots into his sack. From Savannah to Decatur, from Augusta to Albany, from Macon to Marietta, and all the places in between, Santa and his sleigh went to every house in Georgia. Santa delivered presents to Andrew, Allison, Anna, Arabelle, Archie, Ashley. The list went on and on. Zach, Zara, Zeb, Zoe, Zibble. Zibble? That must be a spelling mistake. I wonder. Finally, Santa had delivered the last present on his long Georgia list. "Great moons and stars," sighed Santa. "It's past midnight, and my sack seems as heavy as ever. I hope I haven't forgotten anyone." Santa opened his sack to check, and it was full of juicy, crunchy carrots. He delivered all his presents. Santa divided the carrots among all the reindeer. "Well done," he said, patting the youngest reindeer gently on the nose. But the youngest reindeer didn't hear him. Why? Because he was too busy munching his carrots. Then it was time to set off for home. Santa reset his Santa Nav once more to the North Pole, and soon they were speeding across the Chattahoochee River, over Peachtree Street, and out over Zoo Atlanta through the crisp, starry sky. "Ho, ho, ho!" laughed Santa. "Merry Christmas, Georgia, and Merry Christmas to you Sanders superstars. I hope you have a wonderful holiday break."